Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a portrait. Hi guys, this is the SGFX. Welcome again to my channel. You already know what to do. Hit on the subscribe button and click on this notification bell to get notified anytime I release a new video. So let's just dive into the video. Today we are going to be simplifying our references. We're going to be using shapes and we're going to be using shapes and planes to simplify the reference so as to make it more easier for us to sketch out the portrait. So we're starting off with a cycle. So after you've drawn the cycle on the head, then you draw a line below the cycle, then you drag it towards the jaw. Make sure you draw a straight line. It make sure the straight line is along the jaw, then you cross it up, you cover it up with a line, a little line that will connect both of the lines um together. So after you're done with that, you can draw the lines for the neck. So this is actually a lane. This is one of the easiest way for you to learn how to draw portraits. You can just start off by laying your guidelines on the reference. You can going to be dropping the I'm going to be dropping the free sheet, so a free sheet which contains the reference, just in case you want to work and exactly you want to use the exact reference I've used. So I'll be dropping the link in the description box just in case you're interested. So you can click on the link to download the empty sheet so that you can work on the reference, and you can tag me on any social media so that I'll give you feedbacks and critics. So yeah, let's continue. So when you're done um, placing the lanes, the cycles, and the lines of the jaw, you can still proceed to add more um, lanes just to capture the the planes and also the positions and the proportions of the eyes, the nose, and the mouth and the ears. So now we are placing we are placing some kind of cycle curve lines towards the ear. We are trying to like put a guideline towards the ear. You mustn't necessarily add a line there. You can just indicate it by a circle. You mustn't literally draw the ear as I am doing now. So it's not a compulsory. You can just indicate the presence of the ear around that side. You can use a cycle to indicate. So after you're done with that, you can proceed with identifying the you can identify the eyes, the top of the eyes. You can identify the top of the eyes, the lower eye. You can just draw a cycle to indicate where the eye uh, is sighted, is the location of the eye. So after you have drawn a shape that will indicate the top and the top of the eye and beneath the eye, you draw a kind of curve that connects the the top of the ear to the jaw, to the end of the jaw. You can just literally just follow exactly what I'm doing. Just follow exactly what I'm doing. Just copy the exact step I'm doing. So you can just draw a line across the jaw. You can draw a line indicating there is a plane around, sorry, there's a plane around the jaw. So it's just like indicating and that there's a plane around the jaw. So you can just draw the curve and make it go down, and make sure the line is joined to the top of the ear, and also the end of beneath the jaw. So yeah, make sure it's exactly looking like this. When you're done with the lane, you can check and see if there is a problem with the laying. If there is a kind of, if it's going off, you can still use your liquefy tool to adjust and just pretty much do whatever you want to do. But make sure you're following the rules of either the Loomis method or the Rayleigh method. So yeah, we are just going to be using this particular method to um sketch out the portrait. So after you're done with your laying, you can still still choose to add if you want to. You can still choose to add some lanes if you want to, but let's see if we could, if we can add, let's see if we can add some lanes to the portrait. To let's add some shapes at the center of the forehead. That's at the forehead, indicate that there is a nose over there. Then you indicate that there is a corner of the eye, also indicates that there is a plane in the forehead, and also indicates where the nose ends and where the mouth ends. Just make sure you give those guidelines that will help you when you're sketching it on a different space. So just make sure you simplify it the way you can still recall and replicate what exactly you've sketched out. So make sure you don't make it too much, don't make it too much complicated. Just make sure it's looking very simplified, and also it can be easy replicated. So don't make it more too much, make too much planes and too much shapes on it. Just make sure you can replicate exactly what you've drawn on the reference. So the reason why I kept the reference side by side was to leave the other one at the right side to um as a reference, then use the one at the left as your guide, and also you can use it for the laying, just for practice and for easy replication. You can just try to visualize both sides and see where the shapes are sighted. So yeah, you can still recorrect the jaw, the lines of the jaw, if you think they are going off place, off point, off proportion. So you can just adjust the jaw, adjust the proportions of the sorry, the locations of the planes, and you can just, yeah, just follow exactly the steps I've done over here. So what up next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be replicating the same thing we've done on the reference. Instead of tracing, now we're going to be replicating exactly what we've traced on the, which is the lane, on the reference, which is the lane. So now you're starting off with a cycle as you've done already initially on the reference. So we're going to be doing it on a different area, which is going to be used for our sketch. So we are starting off by copying what we've laid on our reference. So yeah, you're starting off with a cycle, then draw draw a line below that at the side of the cycle, which is indicating the ear area. So then you draw another line that connects to the jaw. So after you've done draw a line that connects to the jaw, then you, after you've connected the lines together, the jaw lines, then you drag the neckline and just make it a like a cylinder shape. It's more like a cylinder shape, cylindrical shape. So but you can just make it a curve, like a curve, more like a cylindrical, but just do it exactly where the way I did. So after you're done with that, make sure you're replicating the same thing the lane, exactly the lane. So if you think you're having difficulty in replicating the same shape you've drawn, I'm still going to teach you another method on how to easy get the replica, which is the lane of what you've done on the reference. So yeah, let's just stick around and continue. Make sure you're following exactly what I've done, I'm doing presently on by the side. So I'm just simply replicating. I'm trying to adjust everything that does not um go according to the reference. So anything that is contrary to the lane and the reference, I'm trying to avoid it over here. So you can just simply replicate everything you've done by the side. So we are done replicating the lane. So after you're done replicating the lane, and if you think you're not satisfied with the replica, you can just simply copy the initial lane that you've done other on the top of the reference. You can just duplicate the layer or copy the lane, then drag it to the side, and then paste it and make sure it's on a different layer. Just then delete the initial one you've done that was a mess. If you think that it's not, you've done it the wrong way, you can just simply copy the one you've done on the reference, then keep it by the side. Then you can just proceed um in using the one you've traced on the reference. So it's just like the more easier way to go about it. If you think that visualizing the shapes are too overwhelming for you, so after you've traced on the reference, you can just take it back. So we are trying to like bring out the big shapes of the hair. So we are trying to like draw the big shapes, just trying to draw big shapes to indicate that there's a presence of the here over there. So we are going to be replicating the same thing by the side, which is in our lane. So we're going to be replicating the same thing. So you can um don't be afraid to have fun and enjoy what you're drawing, and make sure you can use Lookify tool. If you think it's looking somehow, you can still adjust. So that's the joy of digital art. It's very easy to, and it's very flexible. You can easily change it and alter so many things. So yeah, don't be afraid to explore and just enjoy what you're doing. So up next, I'm trying to um draw the eyes. I've done a full tutorial on how to draw the planes of the eyes and how to identify the corners and where to draw. um Practically, I did a full tutorial on how to draw the eyes using planes. So it's, when you watch the video, I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box and also at the top right corner, and also at the end of this video I'm going to be dropping um the video. So if you're interested in checking how to draw the corner of the eyes and how to draw the eyes using planes, you can just simply, and including the nose and the mouth, so and the lip. So I've done a tutorial, like a full tutorial about drawing the lips and the eye and the nose using the planes and the shape. So yeah, so that's why I'm just going through the bringing out the sketch, practically bringing out the sketching out the planes of the eyes and the nose and the mouth and the cheek. So yeah, that's what I practically uh, was doing over here. So yeah, if you're interested in learning how to draw the eyes using the planes so that you can incorporate it this particular um tutorial, then it's fine. You can just check my other videos. I've done a video on how to draw the eyes, nose and the mouth using planes. So yeah, um we are done bringing out and sketching out the shapes of the eyes and the nose. So um if you wanna still continue to give it more detail, which is not necessary because this is actually our laying, so we are not actually rendering it till the finished sketch. So this is just a lane. So you going this lane is just going to be like under a different layer, which is under your main line art. This is not a line art, this is a lane. This is just like a guide for you to get your finished artwork. So yeah, I'm just trying to like sketch out the color just to get the proportions, the right proportions of everything before I do the main sketch. So I'm just trying to like sketch out everything roughly before the planes and everything before I do the main sketch. So we are practically going to be doing the next one. Which is the side view. The side view. So the side view, and I don't know, is it the side? I don't know what they call it. Is it the side view or the profile view? Yeah, so whatever, you can call it anything you want to call. So we're going to be starting off with a sketch of the cycle. We're starting off with the cycle, and make sure the cycle is around it's in between the head and the neck. Make sure it's not, and make sure your cycle is pretty much not uh too big, so it should be a little bit moderate, and should be around this kind of cycle. It shouldn't exceed the size of this, so it should be a little bit big and a little bit small, so it should be medium. Then draw another cycle inside your cycle. As you can see, I've drawn a cycle inside. Make sure it's connected to the side. Make sure the cycle is connected just a little bit. It should be a little cycle, and it should be a little bit towards, it should be around the, not a little bit, it should be around the right hand side, and it should be a little bit of slanty and also curvy. It should be a little bit of slanty and curvy, and also it should be by the side of the ear. It should be at the side of the ear. You can just make sure you draw the cycle exactly the size I've done, to make sure you're doing exactly what I'm doing, so as not to get confused on the way. So if you're facing challenge on how to replicate, you can still chat me up on my social media, in my Instagram at Dios GFX. I am going to be replying you. I'm going to be guiding you through how to get your the sketch, the replicates of the sketch. So I'm going to be guiding you through the sketching process and everything. So don't hesitate to chat me up on my social media platforms. I'm going to be replying you. So yeah, I'm trying to like figure out the layers. I'm trying to separate the layers, the laying layer of the first sketch from the second one. So I've already laid down the lines of the jaw. I've already bring down the lines of the jaw. Make sure they are connected and they are giving more like a angle shape. Just make sure you're not exactly tracing. You mustn't trace. Just make sure you bring those shapes out. So after you've um, bring those shapes out, you've on the reference, you can draw the brow line, which is the top of the eye, the line that indicates the top of the eye, and the lower but the beneath the eye. So yeah, practically you're going to be identifying that area in which the eye is settled. Then you do the forehead and also the corner of the eye if necessary. If you think it's going to be more complicated for you to figure it out, you can just leave it and just pretty much um put other guidelines and leave the planes, then leave the planes for another layer. You can just create another layer for the planes. But if you think it's overwhelming presently, because presently I'm just placing the planes on in the same layer with the simplified lane. So yeah, if you think it's going to be difficult for you to figure out the lanes and to simplify the lanes and the planes together, you can just separate the layer differently. You can name the first layer as the plane, the lane. Then you um the second layer, you can make the second layer to be um the planes. So yeah, you can just separate it into two. The first layer should be the lane, and the second layer should be the planes. So after you're done, you can you can draw the jawline and the cheek line, going across from the ear, top of the ear, to down the cheek, and make sure it's connected. All these lines should be connected. So after you're done with that, you can you can draw the line of the forehead. You can draw the line of the forehead, and you can draw also the line of the 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 neck. So you can just make sure you have fun and do the exact method I've done on the first reference. You can just follow the exact way I've done on the first reference. So yeah, just draw the line of the neck. Just make sure you just simplify those shapes and draw them, and make sure you can easily replicate them. But if you can't replicate them, you can just, the easiest way is just to duplicate the layer, then take it to the side of the other side, make sure it's on a different layer, then change the color to a black color, so it's going to be serving as a lane and for you to give to sketch out your final line art. So yeah, if you think it's going to be difficult for you to replicate, but it's advisable for you to replicate it using visualizing it, not copying the reference directly. So yeah, the goal of this tutorial is for you to learn how to draw a portrait. So if you want to learn, but if you're a beginner, like a real beginner, you can just simply copy the you can just simply copy the lane. As you can see, you can just simply copy the lane and drag it to the side. When you drag it to the side, then you reduce opacity, then you trace on it. You can just simply copy the you can just get the proportions very easy. So yeah, so this is pretty much all what this tutorial is all about. I'm going to be doing the third one. I'm going to be sketching the um I'm going to be sketching these particular references, so you just stick around and watch. So on this one, you pretty much do exactly the same thing you've done on the others. So but this one has a slight difference. You're just going to draw a cycle with the line crossing towards the jaw. Just follow the same step I've done on this video, then I hope you can get the same result too. So you can also decide to put some planes around the face. You can just place some planes just for the guideline purposes, just for guidelines. And if you yeah, if you're done with that, you can just duplicate the lane layer and make sure you keep it by the side. So we're going to be merging all the lanes of the three all the three drawings. We're going to be changing the color. It's on alpha log now. I've changed the color to black color. So when you're done changing the color, you can reduce opacity to either 34, the opacity of the lane layer to either 34. Then you start sketching your reference out. So I've done a tutorial on how to sketch, several ways on how to sketch and how to trace, so you can just go check them out. It's going to help you to know how to sketch all this out. So yeah, this is pretty much what we're going to be doing in this video. So yeah, or I'm just going to be speeding up the drawing just to save time. So this is all what the video is all about. If this video was helpful, you can just um, comment down below and let me know if it was helpful, and you can give this video a like, a thumbs up, and also you can share with friends. And also if you are facing any challenge with the sketch, you can at the lane and how to visualize them, you can just chat me up on my social media platforms, or you can just comment down below. I'm going to help you out. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.